But first, the ritual. Much better. Is that one gonna come out? Alright, what is going on, guys? So today we are going to be installing E36 stock cylinder head bolts on Alex's car with pretty much just a stock head gasket. So we're gonna go over how to install the stock head bolts in this video. It's not going to be like a DIY format that we're going to put the rest of the car together all in kind of one video. So I don't have a straight DIY for installing stock head bolts. This is pretty much going to be it. I mean, it's not super hard to do. It's just kind of get the concepts and the ideas down. Stock head bolts. Okay, so a lot of people get confused because of the torque sequence on these. Do we have a paper in there? Alright, so sometimes the headbolt box will come with a little piece of paper that pretty much says the same thing I wrote down here, which is the torque sequence. This one does not have it, regardless. So there are a sequence for how you tighten the bolts. So starting at 1 here, crisscross, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that relates to the bolt. So there's 1, 2, 3. So you're going to start at 1, tighten that one, tighten this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Pretty much across the whole head in this sequence. So that is one pass. Now we're doing 3 passes of the head bolts. The first pass is at 22 foot-pounds. So you're going to put the head on, put all the bolts in. I like to snug the head bolts in that sequence. So I'll run them down by hand and get them snug in that sequence just to kind of get it started. And then we're going to torque them to 22 foot-pounds in this sequence. So 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, all the way across till 14. And then we're going to do 90 degrees. So this is where you need an angle gauge. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the second pass is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. In this sequence across the entire head. That's the second pass, and then the third pass is 90 degrees again. So after you're done doing the first sequence of 22 foot-pounds, you're going to go through 90 degrees through all of them, and then you're going to do another pass of 90 degrees on all of them, and that will be it. So this is a torque angle gauge, and this measures torque in degrees. So this is what you're going to be using to set up and do your second and third pass of 90 degrees. You can also use like an electric torque wrench, but those get pretty expensive. I think like a snap-on electric torque wrench is like $1,000. This is like 15 bucks from AutoZone, and it does pretty much the same thing. So this measure torque in degrees, which is what we need to do. So this is where your wrench attaches and your socket attaches on this. So this goes pretty much through the wrench. And this needs to be braced up against something like a cam stud. And it does need to be stable and it doesn't need to move. But that being said, not really a lot of force is torqued against this. So like putting it up against the cam stud works perfectly fine. So when we turn this, you see that line will pass through. So you need to go a 90-degree pass. So you need to go from 0 all the way down to 90. So that whole sweep is a 90-degree sequence. And it doesn't matter if you go from 90 to 180 or from 0 to 90, just as long as it's a 90-degree sequence. So we'll kind of go over setting this up a little bit later when I actually go to torque all the head bolts, so you guys can get an idea of what my setups are going to look like. But this is an angle gauge, and it is what you're going to be using to measure the second and third pass of the torque. Of course, you're going to want to have your block prepped. That would be one of these jabronis. So this is made up of like a soft plastic. You can get these at AutoZone, Pep Boys, all those fun places. And one thing I always do before we put a head on is clean the bolt holes. Not like super clean them, but just get all kind of the crap out of them. Like there's a bunch of coolant or oil in this one, so I used to take a old head bolt and kind of run it in. Yeah. Get all that crap out of there. Otherwise you might get a false torque reading. So I'll just go one by one and clean them all. Giving it one last cleaning. And we also installed our little dowel pins, which is right there. Alright, so that section of the gasket is going to need to go under the chain and then on.
Is there a top or bottom really?
Well, it's just the orientation, but yeah. We should drop onto the dowel pins. Look at that!
Alright.
Alright. There's two.
Huh.
That's fine, you can let it drop.
Yeah.
Just let it hang. It'll be fine. Cylinder head is in place. We're just cleaning head bolt washers and putting them in their little holes. Alright, so we got all the head bolts started. All the washers are on. So we got them just threaded in. So they're all not tightened down. So I'm just going to snug them. What I like to do is after the first sequence, like it takes a little longer, but I'll mark each bolt. Like I'll put a little dot, just so you kind of know. So we'll do number 1. So dot, we'll do 2. Why don't we just stick that in the freaking hole? So we got the socket, we got the angle with the Allen in there, so that's going to hold it. And it's kind of just figuring out a setup that's going to work. For zeroing, so I'll always load it up. And then make sure I'm at 0. So we got the first one done. So now we're going for number 2. So I'm going to watch it go from 180 to 270. Get it zeroed out.
How's that feel?
13 more to go, jabroni.
Kind of want to try one, so I can kind of feel what it, see what it feels like.
Alright. I'll let you hit this one. I'll hold it in, I'll hold the tool so it doesn't move. But try and get it in one consecutive swing. You know, if you need to go, just if you need to adjust the ratchet for just a little bit at the end, you know, and don't hold the plastic. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro. Gotcha.
Headbolts. Yeah. Pretty
Well, my arms are
pretty
down.
nerve-wracking, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You see my ass.
You want the rest of them, or you want me to?
Oh, you got it, bro. You got it.
When I did my first cylinder head
Yeah.
on the bucket the first time, I did the whole torque sequence like over a period of 2 days.
Yeah.
'Cause I did the first sequence and I was like, nah. And I just went inside.
Was the first one on the bucket too?
Yeah, the first set of headbolts I put on there.
Yeah.
It was all factory headbolts.
Okay. Okay.
Then I've been using ARP ever since for ease. Because
Yeah.
the third set is literally 75, and lug nuts get torqued to 90, so lug nuts get tighter than ARP head studs, you know, something like that is just tits.
Yeah.
I'll pay $200 not to do stock headbolts ever again. You know?
Well, I appreciate you, Clem. Don't think your effort doesn't go unvalued.
Woo.
Good work, bro. Good work.
Sucks. Here's the last one. And it's all you.
Oh, yay. I only did that twice.
Ta-da!
What bolts are these?
These are 2 E-Torques for the timing cover. Put one down here. Let's get you on exhaust duty. I'll start working on the intake manifold.
Alright.
And then after that's all done, we can do cam stuff. Yes? So let's get you situated. The only nice thing about it is that the manifolds are disconnected from the mid pipe. Yeah, so trying to put the manifold on and lift the exhaust at the same time is a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Don't you know E36s, bro?
This is your car, bro. You already know more about your car than I do.
I would not say that, bro. Definitely not.
So we got brand new intake manifold gaskets. Very nice. Got a new throttle body gasket that I haven't put on yet. The cam position harness wire was like, the loom was coming apart, so I just wrapped it and replaced this thing because it was broken and the O-ring was rounded off, so.
Might go a little more now.
How's it coming, Chief?
Slowly but surely, man.
A
Skip
lot
a
of
couple
fun.
out of frustration, but you know, we'll come back in. Now they need 3 fingers.
You're fine.
Needs a pinky and a ring finger, bro. I ain't getting married.
That's on enough for it to start. And we still don't have cams in. So we gotta put the cams in. The exhaust manifolds are on, but the mid-pipe's not on. Which is what Alex is gonna be doing next.
Okay, that sounds easier than that. But
Oh, it's way easier. Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Alex got the exhaust done. Now we're just cleaning trays and lifters before we put the cams on, yeah? Good sauce.
Nice.
What a bitch of trick. Oh yeah. Ooh, very nice. So nice. Yeah, you see the metal impeller versus the plastic one we pulled off?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start working on Vanos stuff, and we're gonna have this guy start putting his cooling system together.
You ready?
So we're gonna get a new trigger wheel for your memes, for your meme position sensor. Alright, it's done. Vanos is done. Look at this. A non-rusty trigger wheel. Beautiful.
Let's go. Yes, that looks right.
Huh? I would assume it's over there with the other tools. Battery's about to die, so we're gonna let it charge and keep working because this has been a long video. Alright, so we let the camera charge for like an hour and it got dark. So the footage, I'm sorry, quality's gone. Nobody watches my channel for quality though. So we have the valve cover on. We just put oil in it. And we're about ready to crank it over, get some oil pressure going. And then we'll slam our plugs in and see if she fires up. Yeah, send it. Wait till the light shuts off. There we go, oil pressure, baby. So that's good. So that means we don't have like rod knock or anything. At least really badly. It's all coming down to like
In a
next
couple minutes.
You know?
I'm like happy, but I'm anxious as
Dude, you're telling me. You get nervous. It does,
Yeah,
you
dude.
do get nervous.
camera's gonna come out like yeah, this is a crazy feeling, that's for sure.
First time you ever got it?
I mean, like, to this, like, for this the extent that it is, you know, like, just so many things are involved with like the next few minutes. Me as like was like a person in like a vehicle, you know, being like a car guy, never having like a good car, and it's just like I'm gonna be that much closer. This is like the big ticket, you know. This is like the one that we really need for me to drive this, for this hunk to turn on. So yeah, I'm pretty nervous right now, bro.
Welcome to the game, Alex. It's a fun game. It has its moments. All right, whenever you're ready. Something. Try it again. Hmm. Something ain't right there, Chief.
Huh?
Said something ain't right there. We're gonna have to figure it out, though.
I mean, it turned on.
Kind of. Yay. Alright, so obviously something still's not right with that thing. All of the sensors and all of pretty much everything except for the cylinder head is still what was on the original car, so we're gonna have to go through it and figure out what's going on. So hopefully it's something simple. Might be a bad math, I don't know. I was kind of thinking we might start swapping parts with the Cheeto to see if we can get something to happen there. And then, you know, obviously we're not going to tear apart the Cheeto to make Alex's car run, but if we can use parts off it to figure out what's going on with Alex's car, that's a big plus. So we might do something there. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I'll see you guys later.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are